Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsolicited Bourbon Reviews, episode 83. And today we're going to go ahead and review Dry Fly Distilling Special Reserve. Actually, this is Specialty Barrel. This is a state pick, a Tennessee pick. So this is also aged 6 years. And this thing is going to be a monster. It's going to be 136.1 proof. And just as a point of reference, I think it's 139.4 is considered as hazmat. So just some backstory behind this. So I believe I bought this last summer. So one of the positives is, rearranging, get the bar set up yesterday was I found this kind of shoved back in a corner. I think it was in that shitty shelf that I had that was like falling apart. And I hadn't kind of forgot I bought this. I remember the logic at the time when I purchased it. It was recommended. They only had 6. I think they bought 1 case. The liquor store I went to, and they said, hey, look, you gotta try this stuff. Dry Fly makes some pretty good stuff, especially good wheat bourbon or wheat whiskey. So that was kind of the logic applied. To try it out, and also, I thought it was cool. I was getting, 1 of 6 of, that it's pretty not allocated, but they only had 1 barrel for the whole state. So this is barrel number 451, and this is, again, it says in the back here, this is it says Tennessee private select. So but I don't know much about these guys. I see their stuff on the shelf, but they're out of Spokane, Washington, and I think it's cool to try whiskeys or bourbons that aren't from your typical Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky. I look at it from a water source standpoint. So we tried the Dickel and Leopold Brothers collaboration, and Leopold Brothers, they're based out of just out of Denver, Colorado. So their water source is coming from the Rockies. Spokane, Washington, their water sources come from the Cascades, and some of the best water you can get in the country, when you live within those mountain ranges. So I do think that definitely comes into play in terms of whiskey and bourbon products. So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting this one. This is almost like a first time Friday on a Monday, because I don't remember much about it initially, and so it'll be nice to kind of jog my memory in terms of what little bit I did try. I know it was balls hot in the summer when I bought this, and I was like, dude, this is like, I'm not gonna be slamming 136 proof when it's heat index of 100, 110. So I think it's kind of why I kind of put it in that corner and forgot about it. But let's just go ahead and just talk about it. And I think if we can have time, I have some water. So if this thing needs to open up a little bit, with some water, we can try to do that. So we'll go ahead. And this is also, I don't have the mash bill on hand, but it is a wheat, which is stated here on the bottom. This is also a 6-year aged whiskey. So nose, so you do get that ethanol in there. There's no mystery, especially as a high proof, as at 136 proof. But I do get some nice, surprisingly, it smells sweet. I get kind of like a buttercream, butterscotch, and then kind of some baking spices in there. But I think ultimately, yeah, I mean, I'm not really having to fight through the ethanol, like the alcohol. I mean, it's there. As stated, but I figured it'd be kind of blow my face off a little bit, shove my nose into the Glencairn glass. So we'll go ahead. So I get sweet butterscotch, kind of a buttercream, some caramel, and you get a little bit of that oak in there, with this. So it being a 6-year. So, all right, let's give it a sip and we'll talk about it. Not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot hotter on the front end. You do get a little bit of zip on it, but it's super smooth. Going to the back end of this thing. So the palate does match the nose. I definitely get a buttercream, butterscotch taste, and kind of goes into nice like caramel. And you do get some of the oak in there, some of the oak dryness. But I think this is a really palatable, super high proof wheat whiskey. And I think also it being a wheat mash bill, which we talked about, it's going to be generally softer with those wheaters, as we talked about, like, you know, makers and things that are 4 grain that include the wheat to make it a little softer. So I don't think I'm going to need to open up a water. I'll probably do that after recording because we're kind of short here on time. But price, unfortunately, that's negligible. Like, I forgot what I paid for it. I think it was around the $50 mark. If that's the case, this is a $50. I think this is worth it. Maybe a couple bucks cheaper. So for price point, I give it a 6.5. For taste, for being a high proof, being a wheat, being a craft distillate, I would give this a 7.5. So